Thanksgiving is a time to celebrate for all, including the Windsor Spitfires. Rob Bennion has the play-by-play.
Fans of the Windsor Spitfires flocked to the WFCU Center October 8th to take in a game against the Sarnia Sting. The Turkey Day matinee was a tightly contested affair, and regulation time was not enough to decide a winner. Sting forward Reed Boucher won the game for Sarnia with a goal in the 6th round of the shootout. Despite the loss, members of the Spitfires still found something to be thankful for.
For this team, just to be, to have the family I have. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. And it is the Canadian Thanksgiving, and ours is coming up, so that's what I'm thankful for, just to be here with my family.
I'm just thankful for my friends and family, and obviously teammates. We've all been blessed with pretty good lives living in this country, so I'm just thankful for everything I have.
That's the nice part about these holidays. You can forget about hockey for a while and concentrate on the family. I'd probably say that would be the thing I'm most thankful for, my family.
For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Rob Bennion.
The NHL lockout may have the players out of the game, but it can't keep them off the ice. Kenton Wolf paid a visit to the arena.
The NHL lockout may still be underway, but some players are still hard at work. A pair of NHLers are at the WFCU Center October 2nd, helping Windsor Spitfires with their on-ice practice. Winnipeg Jets forward Kyle Wellwood and Philadelphia goaltender Michael Layton were in attendance as they aided the Windsor goaltenders.
Well, they're kind of helping me. You always look for someone to skate right now, and Spits are nice enough to let me skate.
Though the NHL lockout may still be underway, both Wellwood and Layton are using the time to rest.
It's been nice. It was a long summer, and I got to prepare for the season, and we're just waiting to hear when we can start playing.
It's been good. A lot of training, staying healthy, and having fun with the family.
Playing in Windsor before his NHL career, Layton spoke highly of the Spits.
Great experience from Sarnia, being close to home, and we had a couple good teams and had a lot of fun. Great organization, and made my home here now, so I love it here.
Lockout or no lockout, Wellwood still remembers his roots as a Spitfire.
It's been great. As you can see, all the players that used to play for the Spits are still around and like being around the guys and being around the team. And they've done a great job here at Windsor, winning championships and always having a good program.
With the NHL lockout still underway, the players will continue to help out the Spitfires. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Kenton Wolf.
The OHL and the NHL are the topics on this week's Sports Talk with Rob Bennion and Kenton Wolf.
Hi, I'm Rob Bennion.
And I'm Kenton Wolf.
Welcome to another year of Sports Talk. Kenton, what's up first?
I'll tell you who's not first, and it's the Windsor Spitfires. They are having a lot of struggles right now, Rob.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree with that. Their penalty kill's been awful. Their power play can't score. They need some help there.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of new additions this year. They're not quite comfortable with each other. Their special teams have just been atrocious. The penalty kill's been awful. Can't keep the puck out of the net, and they could definitely use some help right now.
Joshua Ho-Sang is their 5th overall pick from this year's draft. He could really get the ball rolling offensively for them once he gets more comfortable with the new league.
Yeah, he's a high-skill player. I don't know if he's quite strong enough yet for playing against some men right now, but I think as the season progresses, I think he might become more comfortable. Maybe see a shift from right wing to center, and I think that could really help him.
One thing that the Spitfires might do to augment their offense hasn't been confirmed yet, but Alexander Koklichev was claimed on re-entry waivers. He might be coming back to the Spits from the Russian league.
Yeah, he was a guy. He really helped a guy like Kirby Reichel last year, helped him score 41 goals. So Koklichev only had 1 goal in 20 games, was clearly struggling against some of the older guys in the KHL, and I think this move back to the OHL will not only help him as a player, but also help the Spitfires as a team.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there with Kirby Reichel. Kirby Reichel set a career high with 41 goals last year, and has clearly missed him so far this year. Just 2 goals in 8 games, so he needs his little center back.
Yeah, of course he does, and I think right now what we would have done had the Spitfires been struggling was we would have switched over to the NHL, but looks like we can't do that right now.
Yeah, no can do this year, Kenton. Normally I agree I would be watching some Red Wings hockey, but we're in the second or third week of the lockout now. They've started to cancel regular season games, which really lets it hit home for me.
Yeah, at least no games until October 24th. It's really unfortunate to see for the entire continent. I think we're all going to miss hockey a lot.
Do you feel like we're going to miss the entire season, Kenton?
Personally, I think I think the players and the owners are going to reach a deal by January 1st, and we'll see a half season.
I was speaking to NHL insider Craig Button recently, and he felt that the lockout would come to an end sooner rather than later. I have to disagree, though. No signs of positive negotiations between the two sides, and I feel like we're going to miss the whole season. But if we do, Kenton, who do you feel like has an advantage going into this year?
Well, I think we're going to see the New York Rangers come back strong again. I think they had a great season last year. Henrik Lundqvist is always a Vezina candidate. I think this is a guy who's going to carry the team.
I think with a shortened season, you're going to see your usual contenders contending again. Teams like Vancouver, the Boston Bruins, and one team that could slip with the shortened season is the Detroit Red Wings. Been a perennial President's Trophy Stanley Cup contender for years now, but with the losses of a guy like Nick Lidstrom, Brad Stewart, not done much to replace them. I think they're going to struggle this year.
With Lidstrom obviously retiring, who do you think is going to carry the mantle for the Detroit Red Wings defense?
Obviously the guy to step up is Nick Cronwall. He's the best defenseman on the team now, but they're looking for contributions from a younger guy like Brendan Smith. He needs to be able to step up, play 15, 18, 20 minutes a night, contribute 30, 40 points, and kind of pick up some of the slack himself.
A guy who probably had a disappointing season offensively last year was Pavel Datsyuk. Do you think he's going to return to that kind of form?
I do. A lot of that was injuries, and he's getting up there in age. He's 33, 34 now, I believe, and he was hampered by a wrist injury most of last year. And for a guy whose stick work is the biggest part of his game, I would say he needs to be able to move those wrists the way he can.
Other big offensive contributions came from a guy like Henrik Zetterberg, Valtteri Filppula. How much do you think those guys are going to step up this year?
In a big way, and I see him continuing that and really establishing himself as a true bona fide star second-line center in the NHL.
Obviously, all those guys are really valuable to the Red Wings. Who do you think is going to be the most valuable player in the league this year?
In the league this year, if Sidney Crosby is able to return to health, and it looks like he has, I think Crosby's always the favorite.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody who watched, and this has been Kenton Wolf.
And I'm Rob Benyon.
And we'll see you next time in another edition of MediaPlex Sports Talk.
Fall is here, which means colder weather, changing leaves, and apple season. Haley Treloat tells us more.
Apple season is here and people are flocking to orchards everywhere to get the best pick. This past weekend was the 33rd annual Apple Festival at Colasani's, where people from everywhere indulged in everything the staff, animals, and apples had to offer. Joe Colasani said this year's turnout was the best they've had for the event and its cause.
The Apple Festival, we call it, and it's to raise money for the transportation to carry the kids that are handicapped, disabled, whatever, to school and back, okay? Yeah, they need a bus, and the money that we raise here helps either buy a new bus when they need it or to keep the fuel and go and just to keep it going. That's what this is for.
Other than the usual attractions of exotic animals, rides, games, and shopping opportunities, festival goers had the chance to walk around and view the stalls of vendors selling items of all sorts. In one of the tents, manned by Karen Pickle and her son Andrew Banner, was Group Hug Apparel, a clothing line designed by Banner.
This is my son Andrew Banner. He wanted to save money for college. He wanted to sell lemonade, but I saw one of his cool rock-on designs and I thought friends and family would purchase them, support him, give him some spending money, and since then they've taken off and he sells them all around the world.
Due to early budding of apple trees and the late spring frost, this year's apple harvest was significantly reduced due to damaged blossoms. But despite the limited number of apples, this year's festival was still as sweet as ever. I'm Haley Trelout reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
This October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Riverside was pretty in pink this weekend. Rick Dawes reports.
The crisp morning air swept through Riverfront Plaza as hundreds of pink-wearing participants gathered. Every year, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation CIBC Run Walk for the Cure is held. Volunteers, survivors, and those who have been affected by cancer raise money and awareness by collecting pledges and running together along the riverfront. Dana Fields has been affected by cancer, and raising awareness is important to her.
We decided to start a team in honor of my mom. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in April and had a single mastectomy done in July of this year, and she's recovering now.
Some teams had themes. One group had a wheelbarrow full of money, which they would bring the entire 5K of the race.
Her husband, Greg, is pushing it, and then we have a couple other guys that are helping push it.
Before the participants embarked on the run, music was played and cancer survivors lined the stage, inspiring the crowd. Ingrid Kirker-Lutch is the event's volunteer run director.
For me, it's when the survivors go on stage. It usually coincides with the sun coming out from behind the casino, and it just lights up the whole place, not just with the sun, but also with them being on stage, and it's always very emotional.
With participants dashing, trotting, and rolling across the finish line, the event was a success. Run for the Cure is held in 60 cities across Canada, and Windsor alone contributed $198,000. From MediaPlex News Now, I'm Rick Dawes.
Many changes are being made in our downtown with the addition of new university campus buildings, and now St. Clair College is also keeping pace. Dana Poisson reports.
I'm standing inside the brand new St. Clair College Student Center building, located on University and Victoria Avenue. St. Clair College is growing again with its new Student Center in downtown Windsor. The building was donated by TD Bank last year and has since been under construction. Eva Hobbs, a student services officer, talks about the services offered to the student.
Our new SRC office moved here to the TD building. It's pretty much, I think, the only office that's going to be here. I'm not sure if there's going to be any changes in the future. The services we offer here is the food bank, health insurance, and nooner events, things like that. We have a director and an SCCA VP on this campus.
The building is equipped with an assortment of computers, couches, and isolated study areas that can be booked at no cost. Michael Monchuk, a hospitality management student at St. Clair, said he loves the idea of the center.
The university coming downtown, there's going to be more students from St. Clair and the university, so it's another venue for people to come study. It's very spacious.
Vanessa Ruth, a travel and tourism student, said the new center is going to be a useful area for all students.
I think it's pretty awesome. Like, there's only one lab that we can use at the MediaPlex, and I don't think that the CFA students have like somewhere that they can go all the time. So I think it's going to be really useful. Yeah.
This is going to be a go-to spot for students to come hang out and do some studying. The grand opening is November 2nd. I'm Dana Poisson reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
As the fashion industry prepares for a new fall collection, these dogs show off their new styles. Majeka Gorzelnik tells us all about it.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Windsor is going to the dogs. Dogs and their owners strutted their stuff down the runway on September 14th for Doggy Style, Windsor's first dog fashion show in support of the Windsor-Essex County Humane Society. Organizer and local philanthropist Jill Thompson said dog fashion is quickly becoming a worldwide trend.
Dog fashion is taking off all around the world. Actually, they just wrapped up Dog Fashion Week in New York, August 21st, and they've had that going for a couple of years now. So there's a big trend toward dogs dressing up. And they'll wear it too. It's not like cats. Like, dogs will actually put something on and wear it and strut and know they look good too.
Executive Director of the Humane Society, Melanie Coulter, said she is grateful for these kinds of events because the Humane Society's budget does not go far enough.
This is the kind of event that we love because Jill and the other organizers basically did all the work organizing it and are donating the money to us. And that's something we really appreciate because we don't have a huge staff, we don't have a huge fundraising budget and staff at the Humane Society, so we really rely on people in the community to make the effort to organize events like this, and we appreciate all they've done tonight, and they put on a great event.
Thompson raised $1,000 for the Humane Society and said she hopes to make Doggy Style an annual event. For more information about upcoming events, contact Jill Thompson. Her email is jill@jillishphotography.com. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Majeka Gorzelnik.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Samantha Ram, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.